Hi, and welcome to JCMS.NET Video Help. Today we're going to be discussing mail merge. We're going to talk about the three primary components and how to set them up. One of the primary components is JCMS.NET. The second one is Microsoft Word, or some type of a word processor. And the last one is the database, where the information is exchanged. So let's go ahead and get started with JCMS.NET. What's important to know is that we want to be able to export tickets to Microsoft Word, and we want to be able to tag these tickets. The way these tickets are tagged, or cases are tagged, are through workflow actions. So if we issue one of these actions that has some particular field set up, and we'll get into that in a second, once a ticket receives that action, it has the potential to have mail generated against it. Okay? Let's take a look at this list, and we'll notice that we'll see trial, collections, owner liability. What's unique amongst these three is the fact that each one of them has the generate mail. Okay? And what's neat is, what's more important, I should say, the mail merger file name. So if trial is issued on a ticket and generate mail is set on the action as it is, and there's an output file name, then any ticket associated with a status of trial will have the opportunity to have mail generated. The same holds true for collection, notice, as well as owner's liability. And it's up to the end user as to what they would like. We could choose any one of these, click, okay, and then type in, a file name. And let's just do that, a file name. And the information now will be, we can save it, and anytime DRB-TREQ is issued to a ticket, that ticket we can then generate mail. So this is part one of the setup. Okay, this is part one of the setup, and actually we don't want to save this, so we won't. Do you want to save it? No. Part two of mail merger setup is to understand where the data is, or how data is generated. And what we're going to do is for illustration purposes to set up, so we're not going to discuss exactly the exportation of mail merger data, but rather setup data. This is where we're first starting to assemble the system together. So what we will do is we'll go back into system administration. We'll click on workflow actions. Okay, and we've already discussed the fact that we need to find the items that have generate mail associated with them, and as you can see, officer over here has it, collection warrant, and owner's liability. Let's see, we can look at a couple of other items. There's a trial one. So what we can do at this particular point is we can click an action. This one has mail merge, and the setup here is data. How do I get data to actually get a letter to be generated? If I right click, I get a context menu. Okay, and you'll notice it says generate sample data, and this is going to generate sample data. So we'll go ahead and generate it, and you'll notice that it says it's done for the file SUMMTRL. Now based on that, let's go to Word. Okay, we'll go to Word and we'll start to create a document at this particular point. But generating sample data is as simple as we just showed you. Just right click context, generate sample data, and sample data is generated. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and find Microsoft Word, and it is right here. We'll get Microsoft Word started. We'll start with a blank document, as you can see. Okay, and Microsoft Word represents part 3 of the mail merger setup. Now we have taken a look at setting up JCMS for mail merge, what it means to tickets, what it means from workflow actions. Then we've taken a look at where's the data get created, because we're going to tag tickets with a particular action, and then where's that data? Where is that data going to reside where Microsoft Word can get at it? Well, now that we have created it, we're going to show you an example of Microsoft Word and connecting to that data that the sample data that we just generated. So this would be your typical letter. You can do most anything in Word and then connect this, merge this with JCMS.NET. Now let's go ahead and merge this with data. Select, okay, let's use an existing list, and what we're going to want to do at this point And please be mindful that everything you do is local to the individual user. This is not shared amongst users. So with that being said, what we're going to do is new source, okay? And you'll notice that the selection is Microsoft SQL Server. Click on Next. Your server name, in our case, it's local host SQL. Okay, and we're going to use a password, and this is the same password you use in JCMS. Okay, and then you'll notice it's going to ask you, okay, I can connect to the database, but what do you want me to use? And what we're going to use is JCMS.NET, JCMS mail merge. Okay, and once we open that up, let's take a good look at it. And what do you know? There is our sample table. SUMMTRL. That's exactly what we had. Let's go take a look at that in the other application real quick. What do you know? There it is. SUMTRL. So the data was put into Microsoft SQL Server, and now it's ready to be merged with Microsoft Word. So we'll go ahead and say for summary trials, merge with this data. We'll do a next. Okay, and there's a couple of items here. Number one, you want to save the password. Otherwise, you're going to always have to type the password in. Okay. Localhost, you'll notice that you have a friendly name with it, and it says always attempt to use this file to refresh the data. When your letter is done, Microsoft Word is smart enough to say, hey, should I go out to the database and see if I can pull new records? And in this particular case, you'll want to do this. Okay, so once this is done, we'll go ahead and click Finish, and you'll notice all of our mail merger fields highlight. Okay, so what's really cool here is that you can make some really stunning changes here. We can put in an address block. Okay, and what we can do is first we can match suffix we don't have, company we don't have, but we do have address, street 2, city, state code, okay, and it did most of that for us. And if I put it in, now we have an address block. Okay, let's do some more. To whom it may concern regarding ticket number. Well, what ticket number? Well, let's go drop it in. And what we'll do is we will go and insert number. And now a number is there. Dear Mr., Mrs. And then, well, how do we know what the last name is? So we go in, last name. Okay. This is a letter to notify you of a court date change. Your new court date. Well, where do I get court date? It's in the mail merge fields. Let's go find it. Court date at, and then let's just go ahead and put court time. Boom. Regards, your local municipal court. We could spell here, we'd be in good shape. There you go. Now, what would this look like? So, you know, we can go ahead and take a look at what the document would look like. Now, because this is sample data, it merged sample data. First name, last name, street 2, etc. Number, last name. In your case, you would get a real court date and a real court time. But this letter is done. This letter can now be saved and reused. And what I'm discarding here is the merge. The master is right here. I would now save this letter locally and then make use of it on a repeated basis. Please do keep in mind that you have all the power of Microsoft Word here. There's many other things that you can do. Please refer to Microsoft and Microsoft's documentation on Word and its capabilities. This particular illustration has been done with Microsoft Office 2013. For more information on mail merge, please see the mail merge help. This help was specifically on how to set up mail merge. Thank you for using JCMS.NET Video Help.